Hey everyone, welcome to Call Your Shots, Breaks and Memorabilia. My name is Bart. I'm actually just making this quick video as an introduction to Call Your Shot Sports Break. I realize that for some people that are on eBay looking to bid on some of the auctions, if you realize that the person you're trying to break with doesn't have many videos on YouTube, it could be an alarming thing or kind of an anxious thing. So I thought by making the video and introducing myself, kind of tell you what I'm about, tell you what Call Your Shot Sports Breaks is all about. It will help you feel more comfortable. Just because I don't have a lot of videos on YouTube right now currently. So that being said, my name is Bart. I am a high school math teacher in Northern Illinois. So the first thing I want to tell you about Call Your Shot Sports Breaks is we're not a brick and mortar store. There's not a 10-man operation behind the scenes. This is a one-man operation. I am a high school math teacher by trade and a sports lover, sports connoisseur in my spare time. I started Call Your Shot Sports Breaks just recently here in January. After having this dream for more than a year and talking to one of my friends, my intentions for Call Your Shot Sports Breaks is to help open up the hobby back to people that are being priced out in other areas of it. As a kid, I can tell you that I would go with my dad to different stores, also to different flea markets in downtown Chicago. And that's where my love for sports memorabilia and sports cards first started. So I can vividly remember opening up packs of wax with my dad that we bought for a quarter, we bought for 50 cents, we bought for $1, and pulling some of the Michael Jordan, not maybe rookie cards, but some of the early cards that he had, along with Scottie Pippen, Tony Kukoc, and those are some of my fondest memories. I still have a lot of those cards to this day. I also grew up collecting Pokemon cards, and then for a while I went away from it. During the times of COVID, one of my friends turned me on to the idea of doing breaks online for sports cards, and that really took off with me. So for about the last 5 years or so, I have been participating in online breaks. I've not been the person running them, but I've got a pretty good sense of what a successful online break will look like. So that being said, why did I start Call Your Shot Sports Breaks? To help keep people in the hobby. I've noticed over the last couple of years, which I'm sure you have as well, if you're a sports cards person, a lot of people are getting priced out of sports cards just because the products that we want are getting really expensive, and it's getting really difficult for the average Joe to stay in those things because the prices are starting to add up. So the first thing I want to mention about Call Your Shot Sports Breaks is the price point. Trying to keep the price down. We're starting a lot of the prices at $3.99 with free shipping, $5.99, $9.99, $14.99, and $19.99. $19.99 is probably the highest I'm going to go, and for $19.99 it will be several items. Just because I'm getting started, the break that we have scheduled tonight, the first break, is just going to be three separate breaks in one. So kind of looking at the price points of what we have to offer. The first one that I want to talk about is going to be the one football jersey break. This will be a price point of $3.99. It's an auction style with free shipping. Of course, what we have is 2025 Gold Rush. This is Series 1. The possible hits that we have are here as the headliners. I did also include in the listing on eBay the checklist, so you can check for yourself that almost every single team, I want to say every single team has options out there. So there is no one team that doesn't have any options. So this would be $3.99 with free shipping as the starting price point. The same thing will be true for our baseball break. So when it comes to baseball jersey, we have 2024 Gold Rush. We have Series 5. Of course, some of the headliners that are here. You can also check out the checklist that I have for that as well. So both jerseys will be their own separate breaks. So this will be break 1. We'll start with baseball, and then break 2 will go to the football. And then when it comes to what else we have, this week we don't have the Gold Rush autographed jerseys black bag edition. This is the football edition. This was actually a late arrival to my house past the date that I set up for my eBay auction listings. So I'm hoping to have this for next week. I just have it here on the table so that people can see it as an option. It won't be in tonight's break, but it will be hopefully next week. Our last break, which I'm going to call our signature break for tonight, since it is the biggest break, it will be 1 baseball bats and 2 baseballs that are signed. In terms of the baseballs, this will be 2024 Gold Rush Series 4. On the box itself, it doesn't have any headliners, but I did include the headliners and the checklist on the eBay auction as well, so you can see what the names are in the case that you're interested in. There are going to be 2 of those Gold Rush balls, as well as an RSA baseball bat. Now, the price point for this break, the first 2 are $3.99 with free shipping. For this one, with the 2 baseballs and the 1 baseball bat that comes from RSA, the price point will be $9.99 with $2.99 shipping. So then the $2.99 shipping is going to cover all the hits that you get. So if you get multiple hits in the break, then that will cover it. I am going to ask everybody to chip in for the $2.99, I feel like if we split up the cost for the shipping, it will keep the prices low and it will be fair for everybody. In terms of the RSA mystery box, it does kind of tell you an idea of what can be there. Now, when it comes to RSA, this is a little bit more fluid when it comes to the bats that you're expecting to see and the autographs you're expecting to see. Here are some of the big names that are in the bat itself. But if you want an updated list of what possibly could be in there, because it does rotate through as they send and they ship out their own bats, I'll leave this up here for a second. You can scan it for yourself and go take a look with your phone in terms of the QR code. So kind of a slow start. I didn't know how people were going to take it or receive me on eBay. I figured once I get my name out there and people kind of know what I'm about, I could start to amp it up a little bit more in terms of the breaks and what we have to offer. So in this case, the price points, like I said, are $3.99 with free shipping. And then for both of the jerseys, which are their own separate breaks, and then $9.99 with $2.99 shipping for the 2 baseballs and the baseball bat. And then we did say the black bag edition will be hopefully for next week. Another item that came in just recently that wasn't in time for this week's break, but hopefully, if everything goes well, possibly in next week's, is going to be the full-size helmet. So I do have a couple of the 2024 Series 2 Gold Rush Authentic Editions. Now, it would have been nice to have just in time for the Super Bowl, but I didn't want to risk it, especially since it's my first time. I didn't want to list items that weren't in my possession. This one came a little bit later, but we do have it in the event that everything goes well tonight. Maybe we could post it tomorrow if people are interested in that kind of a thing. So like I'd already mentioned, kind of keeping these price points is that I'm hoping that some more people can get involved, more people can come together and enjoy the hobby. I'm a sports enthusiast. If you look on eBay, you're going to see some of the listings for these auctions that are for the breaks, but you're also going to see a lot of my own personal collection. So after talking to my beautiful wife, she's encouraged me to kind of thin out the herd in terms of the memorabilia that I have. My original thought in my head was that I was going to take the memorabilia that I have, take the jerseys, take the helmets, make a man cave, and then cherish all my collectibles. But after our family has expanded, we have now 2 little kids. I fully believe that she's right, and I need to thin out the herd a little bit. So obviously we're here talking about the auctions for the breaks, but if you want to check out my other listings, I do have some other jerseys, some helmets, some baseballs, other sports memorabilia for sale for a fixed price. If that's something you're interested in, or you want to ask me any questions about it, you're more than welcome to do that. You can do it during the break. You can send me some messages. Speaking of sending messages, you can leave messages on any of my Facebook posts here. I will reply to them. So looking here on the back wall, you can see that on YouTube, we're already here. On Instagram, Call Your Shot Sports Breaks, and on Facebook, Call Your Shot Sports Breaks as well. I realize that a lot of people are already members of lots of Facebook groups, and I'm just getting started. So if you don't want to get involved with the Facebook group because you're already involved in some of the other ones, I completely understand. But if you want to join in, the group is private. If you ask to be accepted into the group, I will accept everybody just to get it started. There are currently 2 people, so we're going to try to get it going. On Facebook and Instagram, I'm going to try to give everybody a sense at the beginning of the week what products are coming, and that way you can kind of see if you're interested, or if you just want to join in and check out the break and just watch it, you're more than welcome to do so as well. So I have everything listed there in the event that you want to join it. Another thing I want to say about the sports breaks and starting Call Your Shots Sports Breaks and Memorabilia is I'm hoping that this becomes, again, it might be very slowly, but a community of people that want to come together on a weekly basis, talk about sports, have fun, and enjoy it. That's one of my biggest things. As a high school math teacher, I can tell you I've spent the last year or two really seeing some groups of people being divided as adults, divided as students at the high school, and I'm tired of it. To be honest with you, I want to do my best to bring people together. It may be a very small thing. It may be a small blip on the radar to start your own sports breaks and memorabilia. But honestly, I do want to bring people together in a positive way, have some fun, share some stories like the one that I shared with you about going to some of the flea markets and the stores in downtown Chicago with my dad. Those are some of my most cherished memories that I have as a kid. And my father is still around, but I still talk to him to this day about some of those cards that we had and some of the pulls that we had. And yeah, I even break out the box of cards with him and take a look at it and some of the most sentimental things for me. That being said, what about the money that I get from Call Your Shot Sports Breaks? All the proceeds are going right back into my kids and developing the hobby of sports with them. So any of the proceeds I get, I'll be taking my kids. So I'll take that and take my kids out to different sporting events, do some meet and greets. Just recently, on last Friday, we actually ended up going to a Rockford Ice Hogs game. The Rockford Ice Hogs are the minor league affiliate for the Chicago Blackhawks. I had a great time with my son. My son was excited about the opportunity to go to the hockey game. We got to see the first round draft pick from the Blackhawks from last year. My son got to take some pictures with the mascot, and I can tell you he was smiling from ear to ear, and it just filled my heart because it reminded me of all the times that I had with my dad, and I think it's going to start the spark with him as well into loving sports and loving the hobby itself. So that being said, I think I don't want to make the video extremely long. The last thing I want to say before I sign off here, and I see people tonight in the case that you're interested, is that I'm all about transparency. Now, for me, I have no idea what's in these mystery boxes. Like I said, these are the auction style that are up on eBay. I do know that I have some memorabilia that I'm selling for a fixed price. So being as transparent as I want to be, for any item that I break, I'm going to show everybody that it is completely intact in exactly the same way that it came from the distributor. So for example, for the baseballs, you can see here that it's covered in cellophane wrap. Of course, I've never opened it. It does have a secondary seal, which is one thing I really do like about the Gold Rush products, is that you can see it hasn't been tampered with at all. And for my purposes, I want the big hits to be here. If the big hits are here, that means that I imagine people are going to get excited about the hobby. They're going to get excited about Call Your Shot Sports Breaks, and they'll be excited to talk to each other, potentially tell each other some stories, get into the chat. I'd be open to the idea of people trading, using this as a platform to just talk to each other and keep the hobby alive for the people that are getting priced out of the hobby in other places. So being as transparent as I am, I want to make sure that that comes through clearly, that I want everybody to feel like what they're buying into is exactly what I am stating. So if you have any questions, if there's any concerns, any suggestions for me, obviously as a first-time breaker, but somebody who's been involved in breaks for 5 years, I have a good sense of what needs to happen to keep things fair, to keep things enjoyable, so that nobody walks away from it feeling any type of way other than, excited and at least having the opportunity. The breaks themselves, I don't plan on in the beginning being very long. I'm shooting for maybe 10 or 15 minutes. As things progress, if people enjoy it and they want more items, that's definitely something that can happen. But like I said, the reason why there's only these items for tonight, excluding the black bag edition for the Gold Rush, is I don't want to start too fast. I don't know how I'm going to be received on eBay, and I want to make sure that you guys get to know me. Eventually, I hope to gain your trust to a point where more people are involved in the breaks. But I'm excited about the opportunity to start fulfilling this dream of mine. The dream itself was something I talked to a friend of mine about a year and a half ago. And I was talking about all the limited opportunities and being priced out of a lot of the breaks when it comes to sports cards. And then he said to me, Bart, why don't you just start it for yourself? And at first I laughed, but I won't lie to you. On the ride home when I was driving, I was starting to think about it. And I thought, why not? Why couldn't I? Why couldn't I be the person that's the front of it to help bring people together and give people a good option on a weekly basis to have some fun and to bring people together? I'm tired of people being split apart, and I want more people to come together. That being said, tonight we're going to have our opening break. So the eBay listings in terms of the auctions are going to end around 8 p.m. Central Time. I'm going to be online on YouTube right here on the channel at 9 p.m. Central Time. Of course, I'd be happy to have you. Even if you don't want to buy into the breaks, I completely understand that. If you just want to come out and see what it's like and join in the conversation and have some fun with it, I'd be happy to have you. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me in any of the ways that I described, whether it's on YouTube, it's on Instagram or Facebook. And I hope to see you here later tonight to hopefully pull some of the biggest hits in the game. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tonight. See ya.